Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Yeah! I don't know! Hadouken!
What's up, selectors? It's Select Screen back with another reaction video, but not what you're thinking. Shout out to my man RL. This one is dedicated to RL.
One for JJ.
Definitely throw one for JJ. Just throw one in the chat for me for my man RL, who is 100% approved, man. We are going to be talking about one of my favorite channels that I watch, New Rock Stars. Shout out to Eric Voss. No, this is not me tearing down Eric Voss, but he did something the other day that was very interesting to me. He did it on the Marvels. He ranked the Marvel series and movies. And let me tell you, that list needs some fixing. So shout out to Eric Voss, who, again, love his stuff. Love the whole team over there, man. Jess is amazing. It's just a great channel. But I want to give my opinions on this. We're definitely going to be opening up the Discord tonight. I will say this, no spoilers for Deadpool. Let me give you the rundown of what this week's going to look like. Yeah, so tomorrow we will have an in-theater spoiler-free review, and then we're going to wait a whole week because this is the only Marvel movie I don't want to do any spoilers on this channel. I want to give everybody the opportunity to watch it. So we'll do it the following week. We'll do a spoiler reaction and all of that stuff. But today we're going to be ranking the Marvel movies, the Marvel series, and then we're going to try to put them all into one big list. And we're going to fix this list that you're seeing either above me if you're watching it vertically or over here if you're watching horizontally. This is going to be a lot of fun, man. And then, of course, we're going to open up the Discord as well. RL said, let me in on this one. Let me help. Yes, sir. We definitely, bro. Definitely. I can be persuaded on some of these. I can be persuaded. But when you see my list compared to Eric's, I think there's going to be some surprises for sure. All right. Shout out to Elgato. We are Elgato ambassadors. If you guys want an awesome mic, you're looking for a cool camera like you're seeing right now, or we're about to put out a behind the scenes video of how we even made this live stream with the teleprompter. So I'm actually looking at you and looking at my notes on prompter. So shout out to Elgato.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you can get their stuff right on our link, linktr.ee/5ELECT5CREEN. We're on Twitch, YouTube, X, TikTok, Apple, and Spotify podcasts, which this video will finally be a new podcast. Shout out to all of our podcast folks. And then also on Kick. All right, let's jump into this thing, man. I know you guys have been ready for this. No spoilers for Deadpool tonight. I'm ready. I know that you've been ready. Let's just regular go. We're not gonna Deadpool it. You know what I mean? They kind of stole that phrase from me, right? Let's go. All right, selectors. So here's how this works. First and foremost, we're going to watch what Eric said on New Rockstars. And again, shout out to Eric Voss for doing this. Then we'll jump into my presentation on why he's wrong. He seems like a really good sport. I'd love to meet him. Shoot, I'd love to work for New Rockstars. But yes, let's take a look. I just want to look at comments real quick. How we doing on comments? Shout out to Blair, who's watching on Instagram. We did not go live on TikTok today. TikTok is being funny. Shout out to CV Wally as well. That's the homie as well in a lot of these movies. Get at me, bro. Let's go see Deadpool. Hey, thank you so much. And my man Matt as well on Facebook. Thanks for the like, bro. But yeah, Wally, man. I don't know if you got your ticket or not, but let's go see Deadpool tomorrow. All right. Jumping into this thing, I don't even pause my music here. Let's see what Eric says in his defense first, all right?
They're going to hold up. Now, I did this for the Marvels, so again, I'm going to rank this movie with all the movies from the Marvel Cinematic Universe since 2021, including Phase 4 and Phase 5. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Now, looking at his list, he adds Deadpool and Wolverine in there. Obviously, we have not seen Deadpool and Wolverine. So we will omit Deadpool and Wolverine for now. Of course, eventually we'll update this list to add that in there. But let's jump into this first list. It's Eric's MCU ranking from 2021. And he's got Spider-Man No Way Home. Hey, shout out to Christy Logan Photography. You guys need to go check her out as well. Christy, I'm going to drop your link in here too. If you guys need photography in the Denver area now, definitely check her out. All right. So Eric's video, again, Spider-Man No Way Home is #1. Now, this is since 2001, okay? We're going to go down to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I'm not even going to comment on these yet. Shang-Chi, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, The Marvels, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Thor: Love and Thunder, The Eternals, and then Black Widow. So, an interesting list. Let's jump over. Here. Here is Select Screen's Marvel Studio ranking. I think this is going to be so much fun. And you know what, guys?
The cream of the crop.
It's going to be the cream of the crop. And if you don't like my list, guess what?
It doesn't matter what you think.
that's just the bottom line, you know. No, but seriously, let's talk about this first list. Whew, he's got some movies up there that are a wee bit too high for me. Doctor Strange, let's see. Christy Logan Photography says, Doctor Strange is already too high. Shaking my head. I 100% agree with that. Are you guys ready? Let's go. All right. Let's edit this thing. Because yes, looking at Doctor Strange that high, that is way too high. I'm gonna just bring this up like this, and we'll get a good list going here. Looking back at his list, let's start from the bottom. Me personally, you guys know exactly where I'm going with this. The worst movie on this list. Now, let me make sure I'm on the right one. This is the movie rankings, correct? Yes, this is his movie rankings. The worst movie on this list, he got pretty close, but it's The Eternals. The Eternals is hot trash. There's very few things in The Eternals that even move the MCU. Eternals. Yes, I think we can all agree the Eternals, it did nothing. Oops. There we go. I can spell, I promise. Eternals. There we go. All right. Chrissy says preach. Now, here's where things get a little dicey. Black Widow. He's got Black Widow low. Thor Love and Thunder, I think, is in there for number 10. Quantumania. A lot of people didn't like Quantumania, but I gotta go here. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, was one of the biggest letdowns. I think well, I can't say it started. I think Eternal started the Marvel letdown for me. I think that's where I was like, man, this movie isn't good. It's not amazing. Doctor Strange did the same thing for me, except it had all these expectations. Sam Raimi's coming back. I liked Doctor Strange 1, the whole thing, and WandaVision, all of it, great. And then we got this trash movie in Doctor Strange. So we got to put Doctor Strange there. I mean, the scene alone where Mr. Fantastic puts his foot literally in his mouth, absolutely trash. So I think we can put Doctor Strange there. Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. Now, I think the next one we can put there, it's a toss-up between these three. And I think I can explain away a couple of things to help and hurt some of these movies, right? He's pretty close in here. He's pretty close. But I gotta go. To me, it's between Thor, Love and Thunder and the Marvels. And I know you're going, wait a minute, the bad special effects in Quantumania. We'll get to Quantumania in just a second. We'll get to Quantumania. But it's not as bad as a lot of people say. I'm actually going to go with Thor. I think he's right there. Thor: Love and Thunder, again, the hype of having Christian Bale, it's got to be Thor. The fight scenes were all right, but they really kind of threw away everything they set up, right? They threw away everything that they set up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought we were getting the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor together. You know what I'm saying? And we got a quick scene of that, and then that was the end of it. That was quite the end of it. Let me get this camera going too. We are getting funny colors on my camera. I'll fix that. On my exposure. Yes, no, no. Holy smokes. All right. I will get that fixed. All right. So Thor: Love and Thunder there. Next, the Marvels or Ant-Man. I gotta go Ant-Man. And let's talk about Ant-Man. Ant-Man, while it's, I get it. It's Ant-Man. Ant-Man is Ant-Man, right? And we thought we were going to get something. I thought Ant-Man was going to die. We're just calling Ant-Man 3. Is that cool? Jonathan Majors, controversy aside, he acted his butt off in that movie. Paul Rudd, I thought, acted his butt off in the movie, but it's so different from the other Ant-Man movies. There's some good jokes, but they don't really hold up anymore. And then it had no bearing really on anything else that happened in the MCU. So RL said, I thought Thor 4 was trash. Yeah, it just, yeah. Clue said, Doctor Strange next to Eternals. Yes. Doctor Strange, if it weren't for Eternals, Doctor Strange would have been the worst Marvel movie for me. For sure. I literally went and saw that movie a second time and walked out of the theater. For some reason, I thought it was going to be better. I was like, maybe I was a little biased. Nope. That movie, huge letdown. So the Marvels. Let's ask this question. Is the Marvels better than Black Panther Wakanda Forever? No. RL says the only reason the Marvels only had one good scene, it's the post-credit scene. Let me throw another thing at you. I'll see. The Marvels is being ranked higher because the Marvels has a great claim to fame. I think the Marvels, believe it or not, has the funniest scene in an MCU movie. And that's saying a lot. Thinking of Guardians of the Galaxy, the scene where they are trying to get everyone, the cats, off the ship. Yeah, Chrissy said the same thing, the cats. That scene alone is worth watching that movie. Then we're going to add on there that we got Beast. I think we got Beast at the end, and the cat scene, that was enough for me. I thought it was funny. That movie was funny, sometimes in the wrong ways. But that cat scene is better than anything that happened in Ant-Man, Thor, Doctor Strange, or the Eternals alone. If they would have just put that scene online, I still would have said the same thing. So I'm cool with the Marvel sitting there. I may have to adjust my numbering on these lists too, because it's only 11, right? Yeah, I should copy these over to on the other side. We'll adjust this. Plu said forced comedy. X-Men was only worth it for Kelsey Grammer. But that's what I'm saying. But did Thor have any good even cameos? No. Doctor Strange had the cameos and butchered them, literally. And the Eternals was just a throw-up fest. So above that, Arl said, I don't know, Professor X scene in Mom was great. It would have been great until she snapped his neck and it was nothing like the character. I was so mad. That scene, that is what made me walk out of the theater the second time. I was just so mad about that scene because we got everything in that scene. Next is Wakanda Forever better than Shang-Chi? I don't know. I would say no. I really wanted, when Shang-Chi was coming out, what I really wanted from a lot of Marvel movies, even if you go back to Iron Man 1, there's actually not a lot of action outside of the Avengers films, right? Shang-Chi it's an action movie, and that's exactly what I wanted from it. Hear me out when I say this though. Is Black Panther better than Guardians 3? I think that's a better comparison. And the reason that I think that's a better comparison is both of those movies were more emotional for the MCU. I think they're the top tier of Phase 4. Wakanda Forever had a little too much to do versus Guardians. I felt like put a perfect bow on Guardians. So I'm going to go Wakanda. And trust me, again, we'll make sure the numbers look right here too. Wakanda Forever. And then above that, I'm going to put Guardians. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Where's Shang-Chi? I think it's better than those two. I really do. I think it's better than those two. The only problem with Shang-Chi is it falls apart in the last 5 minutes or so. But overall, it established a new character. It did the whole thing, the whole origin story. But man, there's some great action in that movie. So I'm gonna go there. Now again, I'm gonna get back to comics. Is it S-H-I? I think it's S-H-I, right? Oh, it's C-H-I. C-H-I. Oh, geez. Undo that. Aquafina is hilarious in that movie. It's really great. Let's look at some comments here. Clue said, just because we don't want to watch Professor X dying is like Hulk Hogan saying he's racist while not being racist at the same time at the RNC. Just being honest. Professor Xavier's died too much. He's just died way too much. And for Wanda to take him out like that, he's too powerful for that. Oh, man. RL says, Eternals has the worst post-credit scene with the faceless Blade cameo. Absolutely. Shang-Chi was better than Black Panther 2. Okay, yeah. I think so. I think so, too. Da-da-da-da. And again, we'll fix numbers. Let's look at what else we got here. Black Panther, Shang-Chi. Move that. Guardians. So that leaves Spider-Man. And I know what you're going to say. You're biased. But I'm not. Spider-Man No Way Home, you got to remember, Spider-Man No Way Home had an impossible task. It had crazy hype. I mean, the hype for Spider-Man No Way Home was incredibly high. And let's not forget, it did it. it did it. It came out. People were still excited after seeing it. There we go. I'll get those numbers adjusted. But yeah, definitely the best multiverse movie yet, Christy said. Yeah, and totally agree. It explained it. It had logic that made sense. Complete story, great cameos. It was heartfelt as well, losing Aunt May. People kind of forget that Aunt May died in that one. Then him having to really give up Mary Jane or MJ or whatever you want to call. I call her M. She's Mary Jane, right? That movie's really great. If you take out the cameos of every Tom Holland Spidey movie, where would you place them? I would still place them in the same order. Well, I would say 3-1, 3-1-2. 2 is, it's good, but it suffers from a simple problem of taking Spidey out of New York. And for me, that it's fine. It's fine that they did it, but it only should have been for a little bit of the movie. It just felt, it feels a little weird to watch a Spider-Man that's not in New York. All right, Doctor Strange. Get these. And we're going to have time, guys, where, like I said, this is not set in stone. I can be convinced otherwise. Now, how come, did we miss anything? That's 9 movies. Oh, we didn't put Black Widow. We didn't put Black Widow in there. And then what else did we not get in there? There's 11 here. Black Widow, Ant-Man, Black Panther. Oh, and then they have Deadpool. Where? Clue said, can't really confirm Mary Jane. So we have to say Marley Joan, aka MJ. You're right. RL says D&W, Deadpool and Wolverine are on the same level of hype, if not more than No Way Home. Absolutely, because there's a lot more riding on it, right? Clue's gonna put Black Widow next to Eternals. I think we should go with a selector influence on this one. What do you guys think? Fix my white balance here. There we go. That should be better. Where do you guys put Black Widow? I want to see in the comments. Run those comments up. There we go. Got that color right for you guys. Clue says Black Widow deserves to be next to Eternals. Christy says Black Widow above Strange. Okay, I'm hearing you. RL, what you thinking? Let's clean up this list a little bit, huh? Clean up this list a little bit. RL said it's fine where it is. Not even on the list.
Remember,
We've got to put it on there, bro. But hand claps for RL on that one. Below Eternal, Clue said. All right, I'm gonna go. Here's where I'm gonna put it, guys. I'm gonna put it, for me, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go above Doctor Strange. Why am I doing that? Let's talk about Black Widow. Black Widow had some pretty big shoes to fill, right? Kicking off the phase, and we knew it was going to be multiverse, and there wasn't much multiverse. Hence the reason why it's down there. CG's not great. Villain's not great. Oh, RL said next in the list. All right. It's not a great send-off for, well, we never got the answer to why, like, when Hawkeye and Black Widow were in Budapest, it was just like they were like in a hole in a wall somewhere. Like, there were some big letdowns here in Black Widow. That's definitely why it was so low. CG was bad. But I gotta say that the cameo had some good in it. Tell me I didn't lose my list there. I mean, it at least set up that long lady's name. It did give us a new Widow who I think was really great in Hawkeye. We'll talk about Hawkeye a little bit later. It's not a great movie. Yeah, and Scarlett Johansson in of itself, she was not bad. She was not bad in the movie. It's just the script wasn't great. It didn't make sense that the Red Room was hiding in the sky and S.H.I.E.L.D. never knew. It's just like, it just wasn't a good spy movie. Did it do disservice to its characters like Doctor Strange? I wouldn't say so, other than making Taskmaster really irrelevant. They could have really done something with her, with the character who played Taskmaster. Like I said, we got decent performances, but the villain was bad. The story went nowhere. Where is Fury? Overall, it still was better acting than Eternals and didn't flat out disservice like Doctor Strange. Had no comedy in it. So I can at least give Thor that. I can say Ant-Man. I think that performances, at least in Ant-Man, were better for sure. Clue says Black Widow and She-Hulk should never exist, including the Marvels. I don't know. We're gonna get to the shows next. But I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Am I willing to move anything? I think that's pretty, guys. I think that's pretty solid. We could argue the bottom three. I would say the bottom 8 and 9. We could argue 8 and 9. Christy said, "Don't get me started on the shows. We're going to the shows next. Yeah, it's going to be interesting talking about shows, boy. But that's phase 4/5. I think that's pretty solid. I'll make this look nice and pretty for the next time that we talk about this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's move on. Oh, boy. That's my overall ranking. I don't want to do overall yet. Let's talk about the shows. And I think we got to go back to look at what Eric says here. Pretty different from here. Right? In some respects. I mean, he's got Black Widow low. I'd love to see why he picked Eternals over Black Widow. I mean, at least we knew who the villain was in Black Widow, right? I just can't with Eternals. I can't. The villains were so bad in Eternals. It was like, what are these things? And why do I care?
It's definitely right up there at the top, right under Spider. That makes it hard to take the characters. If you
All
feel
right.
that way, I don't fault you. But yeah, here's how I rank the Marvel movies since Endgame. Spider-Man No Way Home at the top, then Deadpool and Wolverine, followed by Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, then Shang-Chi, then So let's just get it off the screen before they look at it too long. Wait, can they pause?
That's exactly what we did.
No, just by showing you this.
All right. So now he's got shows intermixed here. We're going to do this later. But we got to look at shows, and shows, it's going to get dicey. It's going to get dicey. All right. Clue says She-Hulk dead last. Despite the fact that she was the main one who created the wall in the comics, the show was bad. I think She-Hulk is definitely in the bottom. I liked it for what it was, but to me it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then when we got basically all the storylines just thrown out in the last minute, I'm with you on that, Clue. I'm with you. The question is She-Hulk worse than Secret Invasion, which I was so hyped for Secret Invasion. It's one of my favorite stories. Christy says, how is She-Hulk over Bucky? Okay. This is going to be another controversial one. I give Bucky and Falcon a pass because it was done during the pandemic. It's not going to be my top. It's not going to be my top, but they had to cut out a major storyline. And that's the other thing that we're going to do in here too, RL, is we're going to add in Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. That's where I'm going. As bad as Secret Invasion is, as bad as She-Hulk is, the worst TV show. And I'm not counting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. necessarily. I didn't watch what's the guy's names with the guy who can't talk? I keep wanting to call them the Eternals, and they're not. Gosh, why can't I think of the name of they're like the ripoff of the mutants. Why can't I think of their names? Inhumans. Yeah, the Inhumans. I watched half of the Inhuman show and I was like, this doesn't count. I'm not watching this. There was another one on Hulu too that I just knew it wasn't going to count. So I'm not counting it. But I do have to, I got to include Iron Fist. Guys, Iron Fist it's a terrible TV show. Why is it a terrible TV show? It's a terrible TV show because it's a show about Kung Fu that has no Kung Fu in it. And it takes place primarily in a boardroom. It's bad. Iron Fist is really bad. Now, looking at what you guys are saying, She-Hulk, Danny Rand's a Tony Stark bite off. What about Moon Knight? I liked Moon Knight. This is going to shock you guys. I'm actually going to put, after Iron Fist, I'm going to put What If Season 2. What If Season 2 is bad. It's really pointless. And it's to me why the multiverse should not be happening anymore. It was too much of nothing. And it has no impact on the MCU whatsoever. It just wasn't there. It just, yeah. At least She-Hulk told a complete story. It's all season 2 of What If is all over the place. I'm gonna put She-Hulk next. A lot of people hated the twerking. The biggest problem with She-Hulk for me was CGI was bad. It was definitely rushed. But again, you throw out, at least you had storylines in She-Hulk, but then you throw them all away. What If was just like a bunch of stuff everywhere. It just, oh, and wait, Peggy Carter. And that's the other thing. Disservice to the character. Captain Marvel or Captain Carter is just, you hurt the character there. You can say the same thing for She-Hulk. You know what? Christy says the theme of man hating in She-Hulk was annoying. There was a lot of that too. I mean, the villain, again, that was bad. But hear me out. Hear me out on this. They fixed, or they paid something off in She-Hulk. Not the Hulk and not his son. That wasn't a payoff. But we did get Abomination, and we got an answer for where Abomination's been, what he's been doing. Abomination is probably the best thing on that show, right? Abomination was pretty good. Can we agree on that, Clue? I think he was pretty good. Christy said it should have been his show. It would have been more interesting. Clue said, wait, stop. Where are you putting Werewolf by Night? Let's put it this way. Nowhere near the bottom. Abomination saved it. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that I'm gonna say that was better than What If. What If, again, was the villain the squid? What was it? Was it the octopus thing? I don't know. I just don't know. She-Hulk had terrible fighting techniques from all the cameos. Yeah. And then trying to like make Kevin Feige an artificial intelligence, it does disservice to the MCU too. Let's move on. Next, I think we can probably put Secret Invasion, right? The question here is going to be, is Secret Invasion worse than Falcon? And again, for me, I'm going to put Secret Invasion here. My hype meter. Chrissy said I had such high hopes for Daenerys. Yeah. What happened in Secret Invasion? It just was not even close. Invasion. Did I spell that right? We had great talent. I like what they were doing with Fury and his wife. And that's where it stopped. And yes, the shock factor didn't land, Christy. But then it just... Let's see. Hey, thank you so much for the new follow. Appreciate that so much. RJS4. We're just going to call you RJ. Thank you so much for the follow. Secret Invasion, it just didn't do what it was supposed to do. The roadie stuff does not work for me at all. Is he a Skrull? Was he a Skrull when he got hurt? Is that the real roadie? It just didn't. It started off strong, but ended. Yeah, I agree, RO. It started off strong and too many questions. Agree, Christy. But then it just, I mean, it ended up Nick Fury went back into a ship. And then the next movie is the Marvels, and he's totally different. It just wasn't cohesive at all. I'm gonna put Falcon next. And again, this show just, I think the show would have been a lot better if they didn't have to cut out half of the show. I think Disney really freaked out with the pandemic and was like, we can't do this right now. It probably would have been better to just delay that show. Now, who knows? Like at the time, we had no idea when the pandemic was going to end, right? But overall, the costume was really great once we got to it. He passed on the mantle. We understood why he didn't want the shield. Isaiah Bradley was done really well, as we're going to see in this Hulk movie, or the next movie. It was edited really hard. And yes, we should have got a full Isaiah Bradley original Captain America, red, white, and black. And maybe we can get that as a Werewolf by Night kind of thing. I would love to see that. Hopefully we really kind of show out for Isaiah Bradley, because he's really cool. Setting up Patriot as well to maybe be in Young Avengers. It did a lot of good things. And we got Red Guardian instead. Yeah, see, that was another thing that did not work in Black Widow at all. Not at all. All right, so what are we, 5 in here? Let's see. I'm gonna hold off on Echo. She-Hulk. Now let's look at Eric's list here. Secret Invasion at the bottom, okay. Echo so low. I enjoyed Echo. Now, one of my friends who is Native American, shout out to Christina. She said there's some things that don't quite line up with a Native American culture, but it tells a complete story. And she doesn't have her powers, but they didn't do disservice to the story. And I like Kingpin. He's got Miss Marvel over Falcon. He's got Miss Marvel at 14. This is the greater, this is everything, right? I forgot about Miss Marvel. Hold up. Here's our first audible here. Miss Marvel was not great. Yeah. I'm not putting Miss Marvel over Falcon and the Winter Soldier. No way. Good action. Falcon had better action. It had you remember when Discount Cap decapitated the guy? Come on, that was interesting. Miss Marvel, the thing that saved Miss Marvel was at the end, they were like, you're a mutant. Bag of Cap. Arl says Miss Marvel needs to be at the bottom. It's still better than Iron Fist, bro. It's still better than Iron Fist, because she at least wore a costume in the show. Iron Fist, I mean, he doesn't even wear his costume, bro. It's bad. It's really, really bad. But Miss Marvel is not better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Not even close. Clue said Thanos snapped Miss Marvel and Iron Fist. Chrissy said, thank you. Put some respect on Falcon and Bucky. And that's the other thing. Bucky was dope in that show, too. He was pretty good. RL said, facts that X-Men theme played was the only thing that made the show enjoyable. And we had to watch the whole thing. I still don't understand what was going on with her ancestry and how she went back in time. And it kind of undid the logic of Endgame. Miss Marvel, take a seat there. There we go. Winter. Next. Let's see. She-Hulk. Moon Knight is going up. Hawkeye is going up. Miss Marvel going down. The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I'm still going to put that up there a little bit. What if season 1 we'll put up there a little bit. Werewolf by Night, WandaVision, X-Men, Loki. All right. So then we got to add in the Netflix shows. So here's what I'm going to do here. Just so I don't forget them. This is not we're going to edit this list now. We're going to edit this list. I'm going to put Jessica Jones. And this is not the order yet. Jessica Jones. I can tell you right now. Daredevil. And I'm going to lump those together because seasons 1, 2. Yeah, there's only 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2. I'm going to lump those together because you can watch that and it feels like a whole thing. You know, there's another one we got to put in here, and that is the Defenders. That's where Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, they all came together. But Jessica Jones, we're going to have to split out. Jessica Jones, 2. We're going to put 2 and 3 together. I actually haven't finished season 3. That tells you where I put it. Did I get Luke in there? I'm also going to do the same thing with Luke Cage. Because you can kind of watch that back to back too. Now, there's a little controversy in it. I think they killed off the characters too fast in season 1. But we can work on that. Oh, and Punisher. Ooh, Punisher. And I'm going to put Punisher 2 as 1 and 2. I'm going to tell you that Defenders is also not better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The Defenders was probably the second worst. Still better than Miss Marvel because things actually happened and it affected the characters. Not better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but definitely better than Miss Marvel. Did I put Punisher in there? Yes. Now I've got those up there. Those are going to be movable. Okay. Those are definitely going to be movable, but they're not on Eric's list. And I just don't want to forget them. But those are going to be movable. So where we're on Eric's list right now, we got through Secret Invasion. Okay. Echo. Let's put Echo on the list. And then we can... Why do I keep losing my list? What? Did I just close my list? Y'all, I just closed my list. Let me jump back to Canva real quick. Sorry about that. Hotkeys. Okay. All right, we'll get back to that. Sorry about that. I actually want to move this page up. And make it a wee bit bigger. Okay. A little bit bigger than that too. All right, so you guys can see it. All right. So Echo, is Echo better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Yes. Yes, it is. Is it better than Jessica Jones season 2 and 3? Yes. Is it better than Luke Cage season 1 and 2? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. There's a lot of culture that, well, the Echo too. Echo had a lot of culture to it too. The thing about Echo though is, and I'm going off again, my friend Christina's experience here. They kind of closed the book on Echo, and that's good. But also, like, we didn't quite get, like, what's the deal with Kingpin yet. So I'm going to place it there. I don't think it's better than Luke Cage. Is it better than The Punisher? No. Is it better than Jessica Jones season 1? No. And when I tell you, let's go ahead and rank these a little bit. This is going to be tough for me. This is going to be tough because these Netflix shows, I really liked these Netflix shows. I think we can all agree Daredevil season 1 and 2, they were the best on Netflix for sure. Where it gets dicey here is Punisher season 1 and season 2 is really, really good. Jessica Jones, I think Jessica Jones has the best villain in season 1 almost in Marvel. The Purple Man is terrifying in that first season. And so it comes down to I think Jessica Jones is better than Luke Cage. It's personally, I like Luke Cage way more. I like it more, but I think as a show, they killed off the best parts of Luke Cage's villains too early. And the best thing about Jessica Jones is her villain. You don't get Jessica Jones without a good season 1 of Luke Cage. But I'm going to go like that. Now, the only reason I'm putting Luke Cage over the Punisher, is purely because I became engulfed in Luke Cage. Yeah, Purple Man in season 1. I mean, he was great. Cottonmouth was fantastic, and so was Black Mariah. I liked Black Mariah in that. I even like Shades. It's the thing of I gotta include season 2 in there. And season 2, I liked the villain, but not as much as I like season 1 and 2. And then it left us on a cliffhanger too. That's the other thing that hurts. You can watch Jessica Jones season 1 and be done with it and not watch season 2 and 3 and be okay. Season 2 of Daredevil with the Punisher, that's what I'm saying. That the way they backdoor introduced the Punisher, that episode is better than some of these Marvel movies. that episode is amazing. I'm gonna have a hard time putting Daredevil in when we come up with an exhaustive list, because that's gonna be up there. Both those seasons are great. This new show's got a lot to live up to. And I gotta say, going back to She-Hulk, the best part of She-Hulk was when Daredevil had to do the walk of shame. That was the best part of the whole show for me. And his costume, I liked his costume. There was a season 3. That's right. Bullseye was 3. I still couldn't separate it out though. The surrounding cast around Daredevil, that was the biggest mistake that they fixed. Where am I? In this new Daredevil series is bringing back the original cast. They're so great. And they really should bring Bullseye back too. I mean, fantastic. I'm okay with the Netflix shows like that. Season 3 with a cliffhanger, getting his yeah. And yes, it was a cliffhanger, but boy, it's a great cliffhanger, right? I wanted season 4 immediately after that. I was so ready for season 4. All right. So where are we here again with Eric's list? What if Moon Knight? We're getting into my likes here. I liked Moon Knight. I liked Moon Knight a lot. The problem with Moon Knight, there was a lot of mystery to Moon Knight and whatnot, and that's cool. The problem with Moon Knight was, and I said this in my review, if you go back and watch it, is Moon Knight better than Jessica Jones season 2 and 3? Yes. I'm gonna put it here. I like Moon Knight, and that's probably where yeah. I think it's better than Jessica Jones season 2 and 3. The problem with Moon Knight is there's not enough Moon Knight. Moon Knight should have been in the show more. Like, that's the only problem I really had with it. I liked that it was weird and offbeat. Oscar Isaac owns Marvel and Star Wars. Yeah, absolutely. He played that role so well, and being that he's been Apocalypse, he's been Miguel O'Hara, and he still was able to bring something to that. Moon Knight is really, really good. We just needed more of it. We just needed him to be Moon Knight more. And I think they can, and I'm talking about both personalities or all 3 personalities. Great twist at the end. Moon Knight is good. Moon Knight is good. Again, why am I putting it below Echo? Because Echo, the focus is on Echo. There's never a point in Echo where you go, where is she? A character of being multi-personality. Absolutely, Clue. Clue also says, RL is right. Spider-Man will have to introduce street-level heroes, such as the Heroes for Hire for battle against Mayor Fisk. That's exactly what I want out of that movie. Exactly what I want out of that movie. All right, it's getting tough here now. Hawkeye. Guys, I really liked Hawkeye. I really liked Hawkeye. I think this is a natural spot for it. I liked Hawkeye more than Echo. Hawkeye had a hard task too. Of passing the torch to a new Hawkeye. We hadn't really fleshed out Hawkeye's character. It did a great job in that. It was funny. I read the comic book or the graphic novel as I was watching the show, and some of that stuff is page for page. Great twist. Tied in Kingpin again. I mean, dang, I would almost watch a Kingpin show at this point. Continued the narrative of what was going on at the time, even tied into Spider-Man No Way Home a little bit. Hawkeye is great. It's a good show. Is it better than The Punisher? I don't think so, because The Punisher is a little more emotional. And when I say more emotional, is it got me in my feelings a little bit more. Great, good chase scene. Again, pulled right out of the books. Yeah. I mean, for me, anything here so far, here and up, I'm digging. You know, like I said, Jessica Jones 2 and 3, it's not unwatchable. It's not terrible. All right, I gotta extend this list a little bit more. Moving on. Miss Marvel, we got in there. Guardians Holiday Special. I liked it. I really did. They did a good job with it. Shout out to James Gunn for it. It served its purpose, but I can't see myself going back and watching it again. And it's still Guardians of the Galaxy. It's good. But I'm going to put it here. And we may move this. We may move it. But I mean, the purpose of that was really to get us to go watch Guardians 3 and establish that Quill and Mantis were brother and sister. That's the only purpose of that. If you told me that before watching Guardians 3, I'd be like, okay, I don't really need to watch the holiday special. Great song, you know, catchy, but would I go back and watch that? No. I mean, and pretty much anything down here, I'm not watching again. I'm not watching Iron Fist again. Not watching What If. Definitely not watching She-Hulk or Secret Invasion again. Miss Marvel, The Defenders, and Guardians. I'm not watching those again. Clue said, Vincent playing Kingpin is perfect. If Michael Clark Duncan was living, he would be D&W. Ooh, Deadpool and Wolverine. Absolutely. I went back and watched Daredevil, and hear me out. Michael Clark Duncan he's awesome as Kingpin. That was a good Kingpin. Ben Affleck wasn't terrible as Daredevil. He just wasn't good. And the problem with that movie is it's just a victim of its time. The costume's not great either. You know, I think we can all agree on that. RL said, WandaVision still confuses me with that Quicksilver cameo on from Fox. We can talk about that. That's Marvel's fault, not WandaVision's fault. Matter of fact, let's talk about it now. There is a DVD or Blu-ray that was released that has deleted scenes. It goes on that deleted scene, and shout out to New Rockstars for pointing this out. In that deleted scene, you find out that the cop guy, the magician from Ant-Man, that Quicksilver is his hidden witness. And they didn't explain that in WandaVision. But you have to watch that deleted scene to understand, oh, they've mentioned him throughout the whole show. They just took out a vital part of the story. So it was never Quicksilver from Fox. It never was supposed to be. He was just Quicksilver because she made a guy who looks like the guy from the Fox universe Quicksilver. Who said, I think E-Man said it. Yeah, Eric, yeah. Clue said, Ben Affleck, try-hard hero as Daredevil and Batman. I said it. He loves the source material, though. You know what I mean? He loves comic books, and I'm not mad at him for that. It's just, I think his Daredevil's better than Batman. I really do. But Christy said, Ben Affleck needs to stop. If you go back and watch that movie, especially the director's cut, and you put yourself in the mind of this is like 2001, 2002, the Evanescence kind of like emo of it all. It was right for its time. But are they going to bring him back in Deadpool? I certainly hope they don't. Let's keep it moving. I love this, guys. I hope you guys are having fun. Make sure, again, to like, share, and subscribe as well to the channel. Really appreciate it if you would do that. Even if you don't agree with me on some of these. Let's see. Do I have a subscribe button? There we go. I don't think I played the subscribe button. There we go. All right. Moving on up. What if season 1? Season 1 was pretty good. Is season 1 better than Guardians of the Galaxy? Absolutely. Is season 1 better than Daredevil? I think is our big question here. Close this other one. Is season 1 better than Punisher? I don't think so. Better than Luke Cage? I don't think so. Jessica Jones? Christy said no. No. But again, this is in, I like him. Is it better than Hawkeye? I don't think so. We introduced a character that's vital to the MCU with a new Hawkeye. Is it better than Echo? Season 1 had Zombieverse, which made Scarlet look OP. It's in here. It's in, like, I like it. I could watch season 1 again and not be like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. I'd put it here. I'd probably put it before Jessica Jones season 2 and 3. Chrissy said the best thing about Hawkeye is the Avengers callback. Absolutely. That was cool. When he jumped off and we got to see a different perspective of the Avengers. That was cool. That was really neat. Yeah. So, what if season 1? We like it. It was good. It was good enough that I was excited for season 2. And then season 2, yikes. And more Ronin and Hawkeye. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Moving on up here. Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night. WandaVision, X-Men, and Loki. You guys are going to be mad at me on this list. We're starting to solidify this a little bit. I'm putting Loki here. But I'm going to split it up. Yeah, Chrissy said, I'm ready to see if you're going to break up Loki season 2 out of season 1. I think you have to. Season 2 is so different from season 1. You can't really watch them back to back. And Chrissy said, I knew it. You can't watch them back to back without seeing the other stuff. It's not terrible. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just, and it has implications into the multiverse. That's why I'm putting it above Punisher. It didn't grab me as much as Luke Cage did, though. The God of Stories, I didn't understand until actually I talked to Christy about what was going on when he was holding on to all of the timelines. It needs a lot of explanation, and it's a good season. I just don't know if I want any more. I don't know if I want any more Loki by himself anymore. Somehow they need to connect him back to Thor. For both of their sakes. I think it would help elevate Thor back and really kind of ground Loki. But yeah, I gotta split them up. I'm gonna put season 1. I'm gonna put season 1. Season 1 was pretty dang good. I'm gonna put it under Daredevil. I think there was a lot of stuff that we were wondering about. Loki season 1 is pretty dang good. It's pretty good. I think it's must watch. We're in that must watch territory. Season 2 is a must watch, but like it's like, oh man, I gotta go watch this so I know what's going on in other stuff. So where do I put Werewolf by Night? Werewolf by Night, guys, Werewolf by Night shocked the mess out of me. I loved it. I watched it in color. I watched it in black and white. It's actually a tradition for me now. I'm going to watch it every Halloween. I really, really liked it. And maybe it's because I didn't know much about Werewolf by Night beforehand. But I really enjoyed it. Let's put Daredevil. Werewolf by Night. It's just fun. That's a fun special presentation. We need to do more of that. Nova needs to be a special presentation. I think Kingpin needs a special presentation. That's a really, really cool way to do things. And it's super rewatchable. And it's slightly introduced the Midnight Suns, right? So it's setting up some seeds, but yet it's not overt where it's like, if you go back, I'm sure when we get the Midnight Suns down the road, if you've never seen Werewolf by Night, like when you go back and watch that, it's like, oh, I get it now. Like it's just good. It's really good. What about, let's see, WandaVision. WandaVision, I think, is better than Werewolf by Night because it had to convince us all to get Disney Plus. And it had a lot of what's going to go on. And I was pretty captivated. I wanted to know every week what's going to happen next. It mattered. It mattered. Werewolf by Night, Elsa Bloodstone, Man-Thing, and Blade. Yep, all in the Midnight Suns. Elmo says, yo, WandaVision is my favorite spinoff. I think, okay, great. RL wants in. We're going to do it right after we finish this list. I'm going to open up the Discord, and you guys can definitely, again, persuade me on this list. I'm totally okay with making some adjustments as we go. That brings us to X-Men 97. The Dead Vision post-credit scene. Man, Dead Vision in general. When Dead Vision popped up, whew, I literally, oh. But that brings us to X-Men 97. And I understand it's an animation. We've got What If on here. Guys, the best thing Disney Plus has on it right now the best show is without a doubt X-Men 97. X-Men 97 literally makes grown men cry. If you have not seen the show, you're missing out. X-Men 97 had an impossible task again. How do you take something so beloved and make it new for a new generation while still honoring what came before it? They made that show for us, for the people that watched it growing up. It just, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. There's repercussions for things. The X-Men theme, they've upped the ante with them combining mutant powers. I mean, it's everything that we want. I mean, honestly, I would take X-Men 97 and I would take it off Disney Plus. And I would hand it to the Russo brothers. I would hand them that show and go, make this into a movie. And that's our X-Men movie. Make that into a movie with the Russo brothers. I bet you to be the first movie to hit 2 billion. We got crazy comments in here. I love it. Chrissy said, the only thing I can't get behind is the loss of the connection between Wanda and Vision and Multiverse of Madness. 100% why it's low on our list. They just, I mean, it was like they didn't even watch the show when they made that. She said, I would agree about X-Men. We binged it until 2 a.m. I mean, it's, if I even turn on the first episode, you got to watch it all the way through. Elmo said, yep. And the video game episode, they did such justice by Jubilee. I mean, it's X-Men 97. I didn't review it on the channel because I didn't want to ruin it. Just straight up. Now, spoilers here. Gambit dying. I'm telling you, I was upset. I was upset. That's how you do Rogue. That's how you do Magneto. It just, X-Men 97 is amazing. It is so great. So let's see, how in the world do I do this in Canva to make this scoot over? How many do we got total? 22. So if I did like 11, maybe I'll just cut it. That's probably what we'll do. And then we're going to open up the Discord here. And I want to hear what you guys think about this. She-Hulk, Iron Fist, all the way. Gosh. I may have to do this like literally manually. Have you guys seen Iron Fist? Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen Iron Fist. Because I almost want to send you a free select screen t-shirt for it. No one should have to suffer through that. Let's go from like 13. And then I can honestly say anything on the left side is definitely watchable. Anything on the right side is pretty rough. We want to duplicate this like that. And then move that guy over here. And again, I'll play with, making this look nice and all that stuff. Delete that out of there. Oh gosh. Did I just, I deleted my list. Oh no. Please let me go back. Is it back? Oh no! Okay, there we go. Woo! That was scary for a second. All right, doing this on my prompter. It's a little small, but that's okay. What if? Yeah, I feel good about that. Let's cut that again. Then we're going to open up Discord and talk about this a little bit more. This is a long podcast, I know, but hopefully you guys listening are enjoying this. Duplicate, and we're going to move this over like so. Delete those guys out of there, add those in, and I'll fix the numbers at a later time. We won't trouble you with that. Control Z, everybody. Flew through a 1, extra large, 1 from RL, and Control Z. Yeah, we had to Control Z a lot there for sure. Yeah, I'll fix the numbers as we talk about. Zed says, what you doing? We are ranking. We're looking at New Rockstar's list of top Marvel shows and series and correcting the list. Shout out to New Rockstars. But my man Eric Voss, take a look at my list. And we're going to open up the Discord here in just a second. I just want to pop through these one more time. We'll go one more review of everything before we open up Discord and talk about it a little bit. All right, so our movie rankings from 2021. I think our rankings look pretty good here. The worst is Eternals, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Black Widow, Thor, Love and Thunder, Ant-Man 3, The Marvels, Wakanda Forever, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Shang-Chi, and Spider-Man No Way Home. I think really, if you watch, I would say the top 5 are probably must see. I would go to 6, but we don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do with Kang the Conqueror. I don't know if in Secret Wars, if Kang is still important, then I would say you have to watch Ant-Man 3. But the reality of it is really, you probably won't. The Marvels, you have to watch because of the Beast cameo. Wakanda Forever, you got to know what happens to Black Panther in the long run. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 puts a bow on the Guardians of the Galaxy. Zed said it should be number 1. Shang-Chi, again, if you're looking for just an action movie, that doesn't even have to be a Marvel movie. That Shang-Chi is probably in my top 20 action movies, maybe 25. And the Spider-Man is just fantastic. It's fantastic. Clue said, hopefully next time we can talk about the DC's new Absolute Wonder Woman and the tribal tat like she's Roman Reigns and the new Batman built like Brock Lesnar. Oh boy, what are they doing? Is that in the comics? What are they doing? So that's our movie ranking. Our shows ranking. Again, I'll fix the numbers on the right eventually. I'll do that off stream. By far, the worst show is Iron Fist. Do not watch Iron Fist. What If Season 2? Absolutely skippable. She-Hulk, I'm thinking it's pretty skippable. Secret Invasion, skippable. Everything on that right side is skippable. Miss Marvel, The Defenders, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday is not bad. It's just skippable. Oh, I say that, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier isn't. It's going to be required watching. And I like it. I like Falcon and the Winter Soldier for what it is. Jessica Jones season 2 and 3. Like it for what it is. I gotta finish season 3, but I've tried a couple times and failed. What if season 1? Definitely watchable again. Moon Knight. I really like what they're doing with Moon Knight. Just give me more. I need to know more about, the way they tackled mental illness is really interesting. Echo was cool. Hawkeye is fantastic. Zed said Hawkeye should be number 1. There's an argument there. I mean, it's got to jump some other stuff, but Hawkeye is really great. And really everything on the left-hand side is pretty good. I'm debating on What If season 1 where we have that. That's where I can be persuaded to move that down. Loki season 2 was weaker than 1 for sure. Luke Cage 1 and 2 back to back. That's basically one season if you really watch it. Jessica Jones season 1 has arguably one of the best villains in the MCU. Loki season 1 is fantastic. Daredevil 1, 2, and 3. Boy, how do you have such a trilogy of good TV shows? Werewolf by Night should be the format for a lot of shows going forward. It's got everything in it. WandaVision really had us on the edge of our seats, and X-Men 97 made me cry.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great list. That's a great list, Eric Voss. I like you a lot, Mr. Eric, but check out my list, and we'll go from there. Let's open up the Discord, man. And let's see, where we about an hour and 30-minute stream. Normally I'm playing games, so I'm not talking so much. Whew. I can't wait for Deadpool. I guess let me address this too before we open up Discord. Where do I think Deadpool's gonna fall? I think it could be Spider-Man. I think it could be the number 1 movie. I really do. People have been waiting. As much as Spider-Man's hype was amazing, I think people have been waiting to see Hugh Jackman in the red or the yellow and blue for so long. And it's accurate. And oh, by the way, it's got Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, who is a perfect cast for Deadpool. I think as the only way I'm going to be discouraged with Deadpool is if it absolutely does nothing. And from all of the reactions and everything, people are saying it's doing something for the MCU. It's kicking off the mutant saga, which is interesting to me. Maybe we've totally went away from the multiverse in some way. Maybe Deadpool closes the multiverse somehow. I don't know. I have no idea. But if Deadpool can somehow fix the multiverse, even better. But really, Hugh Jackman's already got that costume on. They're going to be bantering. The movie's going to be great. Right? I think we can all agree on that.
Tonight.
It's going to be dope. All right, let's open up Discord. I know RL and Clue are like, let me shred your list, bro. Oh my goodness. Clue just sent me, why is Batman's head smaller than his shoulders? Superman looks crazy. Don't call it a reboot. And then Wonder Woman does have a tribal tattoo. It's on our Discord. What in the world? DC's in trouble, bro. DC, we'll go through the DC movies at some point in time. DC's in trouble. That sounds like RL. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
How we doing, bro?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm really excited for tomorrow. We're gonna have a lot of fun, man.
I like both of your lists. I like both of your lists. I agree with both of your lists. I was gonna say, I'm a spoiler guy, so I'm gonna. It's not like I'm gonna go watch. It's not like I'm gonna not be able to enjoy the film when I watch it. So I've seen the spoilers to Deadpool and Wolverine,
Oh no.
and I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but I'll just say this. I'll say just based off of it's not the full movie I've seen, but the clips that I've seen and pictures I've seen, I definitely put it above Infinity War and Endgame, and I put that as a current top. And I haven't seen the full film, but just off of the spoilers, I have to put it at one.
Wow.
Just off of it. Just
Wow.
and I mean, I don't know what your YouTube recommendation is like, but I know with mine, it'll give me it'll show me spoilers because they've been showing spoilers since, if not yesterday, the day before yesterday.
Oh, on Deadpool?
Yeah, Deadpool. They've been showing spoilers.
Oh yeah. Don't talk about those because I haven't seen.
Oh no. I'm not. I won't speak. I'm not gonna speak on anything about them or
Okay.
anybody who's in them. I'm not gonna. But I'm just saying, off of those spoilers, it's number one.
Off the spoilers you saw. Wow.
Yes, off.
Okay.
It's definitely surpassed No Way Home.
Okay.
By a long stretch.
Okay. And that's
By a long stretch.
that's what I'm saying, man, is they've done it again with the hype. And I mean, even if we think back to the first trailer, we were all like, oh man, let's go. Like this is it they've done it. They've done it again. And
Well, I still can't believe you haven't seen the final trailer.
you know, I watched Elmo's breakdown. Shout out to Elmo. I did watch Elmo's breakdown because of what you guys said, that it didn't spoil a whole lot and whatnot. Yeah, I'm excited, man. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to get off this stream ASAP so I can go to sleep because it feels like Christmas. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't wait to go to sleep so I can get up and one more sleep.
Yeah,
Let's,
I try not to get into the spoilers, but it's just something that if it's available, I will look for it and
okay.
try to find as much as I can. But it still doesn't ruin my first night in watching it with the crowd.
Yeah. Are you going tomorrow? Are you gonna wait till the weekend?
Yeah, I think I might go tomorrow because I
Okay.
would like to see how it looks on the big screen because I've already seen what I didn't think would happen.
Okay.
But yeah, it definitely by tomorrow it'll be number one,
Okay.
or by now it should be number one because it's everywhere. Like all the spoilers are on Twitter, TikTok.
Oh man.
Even if you search anything like that, it'll come across your feed and you'll see it.
Jeez. I've tried to stay off. People have been sending me stuff on TikTok today, and I'm like, nah, it's not happening. I'm just not opening the app. I just can't because I've waited too long. Clue says, now here's a true fact. Netflix had tie-ins like AOS with the Marvel MCU until Kevin Feige told them not to tie in their series to the MCU direction. Yes. Yeah. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let me address that real quick, RL. I didn't include it in here because, again, I didn't finish it. Once they did that and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started doing time travel and stuff like that, I really fell out of it. Because I thought at some point in time we were going to get Coulson back. And since they went in that direction and Daisy became everything but Daisy and changed her name 3 times, I don't really include it unless, again, this is something Deadpool could do. I don't know. I don't want to know. But if they brought Quake in, that would be pretty crazy. If they brought Coulson back, that'd be pretty crazy. I didn't think about that, but yeah, they kind of messed up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I wish it could get a do-over. Somehow we could get Coulson back or something like that. Let me jump back to the list real quick. RL, do you have anything on either of these lists as we're closing out here that you're like, you have to change this on the list? Like,
Just, I mean, the only thing that I can think about because of what I've seen so far from the Deadpool and the spoilers is just the excitement of that. I wouldn't change anything on your list, but just the hype is real with that.
yeah,
That film. They've really surpassed what my expectations of what I've seen so far online.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just ready for that. But
Yeah.
definitely, they have some. There can't be a downfall after this. But I feel like it's gonna be rocky with Agatha.
Ugh.
Because I'm just not prepared for that show to be in the lineup.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I want to tell you guys now, I'm not covering Agatha. I'm not going to watch it. I might read spoilers so I can keep up with it, but I can't mess with Wanda, even with Doctor Strange, and that's a little bit why I didn't like the second one as well. They go too much into the occult for me. I just can't. It's too much. It's just too much. And I get Wanda's a witch, but it's not as heavy. If you watch the first Doctor Strange movie, it's like he's a superhero. And the second one, this dude is, I don't know, he's doing the most. Waiting for the Okoye series, absolutely. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Also looking forward to, believe it or not, Ironheart. I want to see what Ironheart's going to be about. Because I liked her in Wakanda Forever. I did. I don't know as much about her. Keep away from the Brother Voodoo series. Laugh out. Yeah, I know a little bit about Brother Voodoo. Enough to know. I know he's pretty heavy into it too. It's just something that I don't mess with, man. But RL, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna end this now because it's 10 o'clock. I'm ready to go to sleep so I haven't ate dinner yet. I'm ready for Deadpool. I want to give
Have you seen that final trailer?
I did.
I know you said you've seen the breakdown. What did you think of it? Do you think that's the best MCU trailer, or do you think it's something else is? Or
yeah, I didn't think it was the best. Was it good? I would put it in the top 5.
oh wow.
Where we should do that. We should do a ranking of the top trailers. Man, it's up there. It's up there. I kind of feel like the trailer before was pretty good. And here's why I say that. The trailer itself is really good, but now that Kevin Feige has come out and said that there's a lot of misdirects in these trailers, I don't know. I just don't know. So that's the only reason I'm saying I'm being cautious with that, is because I don't know. My feeling, just being a person who does video and who does effects, something doesn't look right about Wolverine. His arms don't look right, and his face doesn't look right at times. And I'm not saying that the graphics look bad. I just think something's happened, or something's going to happen in the movie that they don't want to spoil. I think he's wearing the mask a lot more than they've shown in the trailer. And I think that's why Hugh looks a little weird. And I think either they had to, I know he's battling with some skin cancer. I don't know if they had to remove the sleeves from him or he gets his arm cut off like in the Apocalypse comics. Something's wrong. Something is wrong with these trailers. And now that Feige has confirmed that there are things that are wrong, I just can't put the trailer up top yet. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. But I guess, for my opinion, I thought that trailer was a good final trailer and good way to get people who aren't fans of that film, or just a reminder that this is the real deal, and we brought some people back into this film.
Yeah.
And just get ready. I just thought it was a good get ready trailer, but I understand where you're coming from.
Absolutely. And after tomorrow, I can probably say better, if that makes sense. After tomorrow.
So you had to wait a week, or you can't just part one and then a part two.
For the spoiler, we'll definitely do a spoiler free. We'll do a spoiler free tomorrow. What my schedule looks like is I'm actually dropping my kids off. Shout out to my mom. Then I'm going to see it at 3:00. We've got a showing here that they say it's a special edition showing at 3:00. I'm going just in case Ryan Reynolds shows up. You just never know. Will Smith did it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to watch it at 3, and then hopefully with Elmo and my brother, and then I'm going immediately after to go see it again.
I think it is worth that.
Yeah. So after that, it'll be a late spoiler free. You know how we do the in theater ones. We'll do a spoiler free in theater, and then between your.
So when you say spoiler free, will you be talking about? Well, I know how you do spoiler free. You don't spoil anything. So I was gonna.
Absolutely.
I would like to talk about the spoilers with somebody once you see it. I would like to.
Definitely.
Maybe we can do it in the chat.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I was gonna say. We'll chop it up in Discord and whatnot, in a private chat, and maybe you, Clue, and I can do that, and go for there, and
Really took it.
yeah.
They really showed their stuff. I mean, they definitely got one with this one.
Okay.
It's definitely $1 billion one.
Okay.
This is $1 billion film.
Okay. Yeah. Batman.
All
Hey.
right, man. I'll call you back. I'll call you. Appreciate you, man.
Definitely, man. Talk to you later. That's my guy, man. Shout out to RL. Great dude. Shout out to Clue, who's rocked with me all the way through this. Shout out to Christy, who came through as well, all the way through on this. I like this list, man. I like it a lot. I sound like I'm getting sick. Who else came through? Clue, RL, Elmo came through. Great stream tonight, man. linktr.ee/select screen for all of your Marvel news, man. Shout out to Eric Voss as well, who was brave enough to put his list on the internet and allowed me to unofficially rip through it. He's got a right to his own opinion. We'll do an overall ranking eventually too, intermixing the shows and stuff like that. That's gonna be a whole stream itself as well. And like I said, we'll update this list and make it look nice. Shout out to Zed as well. Can't forget Zed, who's I think coming close to getting his game out there. So definitely check out Zed Craze over on Twitch as well, man. You guys are amazing, man. linktr.ee/select screen, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Apple, and Spotify podcasts. This episode will be on podcast. Appreciate you guys for checking that out. Make sure you subscribe for more. We're also on Kick. And Zed said, yep, working on a release date trailer. Let's go. I'm excited for that, man. I'm really excited. That's great. And yeah. Do two things for me, though, before you leave today. Before you go to bed, be kind to one another. And remember to
Choose your destiny.
my name is Select Screen, and I'm out.